System malfunction, effects of alcohol use, and peer pressure refusal strategies. Peer pressure refusal strategies. A peer is a person who is your own age. Pressure is when they're trying to talk you into doing something that you don't want to do. Refusal comes from the word refuse, telling them no, you don't, somehow you are able to get out of it. And a strategy. What is a strategy? A strategy is a plan. So we're going to talk about peer pressure refusal strategies, what you can do when somebody is trying to convince you to do something that is not good for you, is unhealthy or dangerous. Steer clear strategy. That's to avoid a peer pressure situation before it even starts. The say no strategy. Say no, no thanks, no way. Walk away strategy. Think of a safe place and start walking. Ignore strategy. Act as if the person isn't even there. Broken record strategy. Repeat the same thing over and over. Repeat the same thing over and over. Repeat the same thing over and over. They'll get tired of hearing it and move on. Make an excuse strategy. Come up with a believable excuse. For example, if somebody asks you to go to the store and steal a pack of gum, you're going to say, oh, I have to go right home and help my mom by babysitting my little sister. She has to go to work. A believable excuse will get you out of that. State the facts strategy. Tell the person pressuring you of possible consequences. Better idea strategy. Suggest something else to do. Now, let's take a look at some scenarios and decide which strategy is being used. Here's the first scenario. A student says, "Come on, let's skip school today." The response says, "I don't skip school." Student, "Don't be such a chicken. I don't skip school." "Just do it. We won't get caught." "I don't skip school." Which strategy did they use? The broken record. Excellent. Let's try the next one. "Hey, let's jump up on top of the lunchroom table and pretend we're rock stars." The response is to walk away from the student. What was the strategy? Walk away. Excellent. Here's another scenario. "I dare you to climb over the fence that has the sign no trespassing on it." Response is, that sign says no trespassing on it. I could get into big trouble. What strategy is that? State the facts. Very good. Here's another one. "Let's steal those pencils from the teacher's desk." Let's say the person turns their head and pretends that they didn't hear that question. That's the ignore the student, the ignore strategy. Okay? These are just some examples of strategies you might use with different scenarios that may happen to you. Having a plan for how you're going to respond will get you out of a lot of messy situations. Brain drain. What is a drug? A drug is a substance that's put into the body that changes the way the body or the mind works. The drug we'll talk about today is illegal for people under the age of 21 to use. Who knows what that drug is? Alcohol. You're right. Alcohol used by an underage person is harmful to the brain and body. Most people, including teenagers, really do not drink. Most kids know underage drinking is against the law because its harmful effects of alcohol can cause damage to their ability to learn and to grow up healthy and strong. Functions of the brain. Your brain works like a computer controlling the functions of your body. The diagram below shows the basic functions that each area of your brain controls. The frontal lobe, up here, controls functions like decision-making and judgment. The temporal lobe controls speech and language. Hypothalamus controls your heart rate. Hippocampus controls your memory. Occipital lobe controls vision. Cerebellum controls balance and coordination. And your brain stem controls your breathing. There's a link in the Empower playlist that will give you more information on the parts of the brain. Effects of alcohol use. We're going to complete this activity by matching each area of the brain with the effect of alcohol use related to that area of the brain. The first one has been done for you. For example, impair a person's ability to think clearly and make good decisions. The area of the brain that alcohol affects is C, the frontal lobe. The next one. Which area of the brain is affected by alcohol and causes it to slow down a person's reflexes, causing a loss of balance and coordination? This is the cerebellum. The cerebellum is responsible for balance and coordination. Slow down a person's breathing, causing them to pass out. This is the brainstem. The brainstem controls our breathing. Cause memory loss and affect our ability to learn. This is the hippocampus. The hippocampus controls our memory. Impair ability to see clearly, causing blurred vision. This is our occipital lobe. The occipital lobe is the one that controls our vision. Slow down a person's heart rate, causing exhaustion. This is our hypothalamus. Our hypothalamus controls the heart rate. The correct answer is G. Which one controls or impairs the ability to speak clearly, causing slurred speech? This is B, the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe controls speech and language. Each of these areas of the brain can be negatively affected by alcohol use. For our next activity, we have some scenarios. These students have false ideas of what drinking alcohol will do for them. We need to help them refuse the pressure to use. For each scenario, you're going to read the statement and fact about the alcohol use. And then you're going to make a copy of this activity, write possible responses that the students may respond or how they may respond, and you're going to submit that to your learning facilitator. So once again, you're going to write down what they could say to refuse the pressure. For example, Alex thought he and his friends would have more fun playing video games if they drank alcohol. So Alex pressured them to drink. The fact is that alcohol use would slow down their breathing, causing them to feel lightheaded and possibly pass out. What might the friends say to Alex to refuse the pressure? They may say something like, if we drank alcohol, we would not have more fun playing video games because alcohol could make you pass out. It could also make us not remember the steps we'd taken before in the game. There's so many things that the alcohol would stop us from being able to do the video game. So you're going to read each fact and the example and write down what refusal strategies or what the students could say to refuse the peer pressure to drink. So we want you to know the facts about effects of alcohol, and we want you to remember these peer pressure refusal strategies and have a plan so that if you get in a situation where someone is encouraging you to drink or do something unhealthy or dangerous, you know how to respond.